After a pandemic 2020, 2021 looks to be a race rebuilding year as venues begin to open and schedules get set, only for sadness to fall on our PWC community with the loss of our shining senior star, Nedra Atwood. We bring you the HydroTurf Best in the West Series presented by Hot Products, the Nedra Atwood Memorial Race.
Hi, I'm Craig Campbell from Lake Havasu City. I am here at Parker at the La Paz campground. We're enjoying the racing today. The hitch hauler is very easy to install. It takes just a few seconds. I spend a lot of time loading and unloading my stuff by myself, and it works out just great. I have a rolling rack that goes right up to it, and I don't have to ask anybody for help, so I get to keep all my friends like that. The hitch hauler is very versatile. Got a receiver on the back where I can hook up my regular jet ski trailer, and so now I can carry around 3 skis on my trailer, 1 on the hauler, and 1 or 2 in the back of my truck, but I guess I gotta buy another jet ski.
All right, on the line, the 23 of David Palmer in the Pro Runabout stock class, and then the Runabout novice stock. You have number 1 of Owen Fust. On the 27, Michael Perry, and the 311, Jamie Hankins. All right, 2 car in the air, 1 and sideways. And it looked like the number 1 of Owen Fust with a dead engine start there. Must have been a previous violation in the jump. They called him on that last start. So as they come together, we're going to go ahead and get the whole shot here. And it looks like it's going to be the big Kawasaki of Michael Perry, 27, followed by, looks to be David Palmer. Michael Perry out front with Palmer coming in hot. Here, Jamie Hankins and Owen Fust. To make their way around to the right side of the track. Perry still out in command. Palmer in tow. Followed by Hankins. And here comes Owen Fust out of Huntington Beach on his Spark. But it's the big Kawasaki, the Green Machine out front, in tow the Yamaha of David Palmer. Palmer decides to go to the outside split. Perry's sticking to the inside. Perry's still going to come out front. But Palmer coming in, gets caught down a little bit in the jet wash there. Hankins making his appearance by the stripe. So we look at the top right-hand side of the track. Perry and Lawrence still going at it here. And it looks like Perry off speed, pulled off the track. Lawrence comes off the inside split in the lead. Closest competitor now would be Jamie Hankins out of Lake Havasu. He'll be in that second position there. And he comes off the outside split. So a big gap. Not sure what happened to Perry. Owen Fust. He'll be coming by. It looks like it's the halfway. Getting close to it. And David Lawrence Palmer is going to go ahead and take the win here in the Runabout Pro-Am stock. And it's a battle with Fust and Hankins, but Hankins pulls it out in the end to take the Runabout novice stock. All right, we get ready for Ski Amateur Vet Lights here. On the number 3 is going to be Harry Gocher. On the number 10, Ron Kirkus. 51 will be James Dean. 155, Taylor Curtis. Craig Mulvey on the 218 with 365 of Dwayne Bascom. And the 913 of Mark Conroy. 2 cards up in the air. Band getting ready to snap here. So it goes sideways, 1. And oh, a problem. Looks like Mulvey getting ejected from her ski. And it looks to me that Taylor Curtis on the 55 on the Superjet, getting the whole shot there. Try and get some reads on here. Looks like Harry Gocher on the red at number 3. Ran for Pro Watercraft. Taylor Curtis for TC Free Ride there. There's a lot of setup on those. We're looking to make those Superjets move quick. Roach gets by. Looks like Kirkus, and then another Yamaha there. James Dean, I do believe. So we look back up at our leader, Taylor Curtis. A lot of boat traffic out there, getting a little rough, but looks like that Superjet just staying glued to the water. We follow him on the backstretch. You can see some big wakes coming off those boats coming on. The river is open. It's only 3/4 closed there. Still about a quarter there. So boat traffic is still flowing up and down the Colorado River. A beautiful day here. Sun is shining. So our Taylor Curtis goes by. Harry Gocher. Great shot there, the number 3 Pro Watercraft machine. Great to see Harry back here. His first return back to racing with the IJSBA, so very cool to see. I think it's been over 25 years, it said, that he hasn't been on skis. So great to see he hasn't lost it there, but oh, it is rough. Welcome back, Mr. Gocher. Get that Kawasaki to hook up down that back straightaway. See on the line next, the next evolution, the 4-stroke Yamaha's be up next. Taylor Curtis getting by some lap traffic, our leader. And Gocher getting his hands full there. Do believe is that Bascom there? 365, I do believe. Or I should recount that, the 913 of Mark Conroy. Oh no, looks like Gocher down. There's Conroy, the 913. Currently running 3rd, but it looks like he's going to move up. As Gocher having some problems. Boat rolled over on him. See DJ jumping in the water to get him re-righted. One of our great course marshals out there. As Taylor Curtis continues to circulate on the track, out in first place. Not going well here in Moto number 2. As we see Taylor Curtis getting ready to come around and turn Harry into a lapped rider. Sure haven't heard that in a lot of years. But it is rough, I gotta say, man. All these competitors having a tough time. I think he just took a bad wake there. Still can't get it refired. Might have to get that toe in. See Taylor Curtis, our leader, still out front. Yamaha still very competitive. Of course, the light division. With all the new invention of new 4-strokes, the lights denoting that it is a 2-stroke class. There's Ron Kirkus on the number 10. Races his brother Scott's brand new boat. So that's pretty cool to see. Local caution still out as Gocher gets the toe. Taylor Curtis starting on lap riders. Taylor, of course, former free rider, and still free rides a little bit though, but we've seen Body Beach quite a bit. And him and his son Coy riding booties, and great to see him back to close course. I think he's gotten better as he gets older. He comes across, putting another lap in the books here. Looking back there, we see Ron Kirkus. He's going to get the white flag. Kirkus looking, he's getting great. He's the guy who normally runs a 550. Now it made us 800. There's the 51 there, James Dean on the all blue Superjet. 913, that's going to be Mark Conroy. Mark out of Phoenix, Arizona, the Firebird AC. 218, Carrie Mulvey. So yeah, she had a problem on that start. Good to see her backing up. The checkered flag comes out. Taylor Curtis takes the win here. With TC Free Ride is Jet Pilot Machine, Dasa. That'll give him, I believe, the sweep for the weekend. Or for Saturday here. Rest of the field still getting the checkered flag. Ron Kirkus is going to come by. Another boat all set up with Pro Watercraft products on there. And Mark Conroy. And James Dean. All right, it's time to get ready for the Yamaha 4-stroke lights class. Introduction here for the West Coast. First time racing these in the IJSBA here. We got Travis Temple, Sebastian Carello, Tyler Ward, Jake Pierce, Steve Fitzen, Reese Geis, Coy Curtis, and Carson Hughes round out our field. All getting the line up here. And it looks to be Coy Curtis on the 155. The whole shot, but I'm seeing a red flag. So we're going to go ahead and call him back. We're seeing who's going to get penalized on this one. So here's the restart. And it looked like it was the 88 of Jake Pierce that got penalized on there. And let's see who's going to be the whole shot this time. It's the outside, and it's going to be Curtis, and then looks to the inside. Is that Reese Geis? See if we can get a better read on the number the next time by here. Great to see this new Yamaha Superjet. And there's Reese and Coy Curtis second. Coy the 155, TC Free Ride. Our young lady on the 141 out of Scottsdale, and that Scottsdale Cycle Center. Sponsored by Dad, Trailey Designs, Oral Watercraft Performance, Jet Pilot, Jet Trim Impros, ODI, Riva, TC Free Ride, IPD Graphics. Followed by the 155 there, Coy Curtis, Jet Pilot, TC Free Ride, HydroTurf, Works Racing, 60 Helmets, Federico Demolition. And it looks like guys trying to pull a little bit away there from Coy. Thinking that was Gorello there on the 27. It is Sebastian Gorello. Sebastian riding for Go Fast US. Blosian, Jet Trim, Quakey Sense, Motul, Bell Helmets, Scott, H2O Works Design, BP Concepts, Gasket Tech, and On the Gas and Ogio. Looks like he took a little spray to the face there, shaking the water out of his goggles there. Sometimes you'll find one of those little holes there and take a good bow spray. See the local caution flag is up. And we got a rider down there. Looks like Steve Fitzen on the 101. And you can really see you're on the river with that current. You see him start to move backwards until he gets it refired. There's Reyes on the 141. And the hammer down. It gets really rough when we move to the left side of the track here. You can see they're going to come around. They're going to go right back up into the flow of the river there with the boat wakes. Really caused some problems. Looks like she's got that new Superjet dialed in. They've done some homework. And looks like, of course, I know Brian Boyle from Watercraft Performance doing some work on there. Oh, hit a bad wake there, went to her knees. See what's going to happen here. Taylor Curtis, Coy Curtis in tow. A little crazy, his dad just won the earlier Moto. Now he's out here trying to win this one. Seeing Dylan do Temple out there, we saw him on the 17. Second generation racers. We're seeing Fitzen going around again. Carson Hughes, the 243. Midman Lake Havasu. See Reyes there. He's getting that thing to hook up down the back straight. Looks like all the starch got taken out of Steve Fitzen when he went down a little earlier. So it's rough when you get thrown off the boat, as rough as it is, and you're trying to lean out and get back up and run. And yeah, hats off to him. They're doing a great shot there. Carson Hughes on his 243. Jake Pierce after that engine start, still charging hard. White flag conditions. Looks like Coy Curtis there, the 155. And Sebastian Gorello on the 27. You'll see that white flag. Paul Pistone up in the tower, one of our former pro factory riders. Great to see him back out, helping out, giving that. Our earlier leader, Reyes Geis, 141. And with that being said, white flag comes out for the rest of the field here. Checkered will be coming out very soon as we see Tyler Ward on the 38. And Coy Curtis taking the checkered flag here, the 155. And it looks to be Sebastian Gorello, I do believe, sitting back there in second on the 27. He'll get that checkered flag himself. As DuTempo comes across there. Reyes Geis. That's going to round out our field here. So Coy Curtis takes the win here in the Yamaha 4-stroke lights. On the number 8, it's going to be Colin Renner with the number 11 of Sam Salisbury. 22, Michael Evingham. 31 is going to be Brooks Beller. 156, Jonathan Levy. 209, Jacob Fruing. 427, Deegan Palmer with a 453 of Kyle Gidford. 492 of Logan Blanchard. 511, Jacob Blue. 521 of Nick Giles. And the 939 of Darren Schneider. As 2 card is up in the air. We're looking down the line, waiting for the 1. And the sideways with the band snap. Here we go. And it looks like it's going to be Fruing. The inside, let's see who's on the outside there. It is Fruing with the whole shot on the outside. And it's a red flag, so we're going to go ahead and rewrap the field here. It's a bum. Fruing sees that red flag. Here we go, second time's the charm. 6 laps make up the distance here in race number 4, and off and running. And oh no, little spin out there to see who that's going to be. I think that was Sam Salisbury, the 11. Who's going to get the whole shot as they come across and come together side by side. It looks like Colin Renner on the number 8 is just going to edge him out. So it's Colin Renner out front as he heads over to the back straight. Again, these are the SXR 1500 cc's stock class. These are all OEM machines. See the field come by here and come back across there. See one of the vintage class and the IJSBA is coming off the line next. See, we get some, looks like that John Levy there. White sleeves usually give it away there on him. There's 22 of Michael Evingham there. Out of Laguna Niguel, California. On the naturalcurrent.com and Sunray solar swimming pumps. Saw the 11 against South Salisbury having a little problem there going down. It's really rough on that back outside. We should see more towards the middle of the river here. Cloud cover here, getting choppy. Wind's coming up, so it's going to make it interesting here because it looks like it's going the opposite direction of the current. And when the water gets rough there and it's moving it and it slams it into the wind, it can get a little bit more gnarly. Big pack of riders coming through. There's the 511 of Jacob Blue. Nice flow down the front straight there past the tower. Courtesy markers are out halfway through this race. We go back up to our leader. The number 8 of Colin Renner. Colin out of Temecula, California. Riding for Rivera Racing, Jet Trim, Pro Watercraft Racing, Jet Renew, Ross Products, Stroker Industries, Aquanuts, Bomber Eyewear, Slippery Wetsuits, and IPD Graphics. Oh no! Colin Going out to the side, you can see that rough water catching him. That is going to give it to the 209 of Jacob Fruing. Low rejection for Jacob. He had that first start of this race. He had that whole shot. Red flag came out. Second race, Colin Renner able to get it. Now Jacob back up front here in the second moto, leading this class. And problems there. Fruing going down. Not sure if he got that buoy or not. Let the officials make the call on that one. Even with these big Kawasaki SXR 1500s, it's still rough on that back straight.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Vinny pays too. Thank you, Dave.
See Salisbury in the shot there, about ready to become a lapped rider here soon. You know, he had earlier issues going down and probably trying to get some energy back. As our leader starts to close in on him. Oh, Fruing going down for a second there, our leader. Getting caught up in the hole there. It's hard to tell from this perspective, but those could be 3-4 foot little gaps there when they drop down. You have to drop your ski into the hole. Nearly strip you off there. It's when they drop your knees. Try and hold on. White flag is out. Again, Fruing, hold on for that checkered flag. And there's the checkered flag. So it's going to be the 209 of Jacob Fruing. Takes away and looks at his shoulder and says, man, did I actually pull it off? I beat Colin. So very cool. Colin Renner comes across second. That's going to wrap it up here for Ski Down the Stock 1500.
I'm Craig Campbell from Lake Havasu City. I am here at Parker at the La Paz campground. We're enjoying the racing today. The hitch hauler is very easy to install. It takes just a few seconds. I spend a lot of time loading and unloading my stuff by myself, and it works out just great. I have a rolling rack that goes right up to it, and I don't have to ask anybody for help, so I get to keep all my friends like that. The hitch hauler is very versatile. Got a receiver on the back where I can hook up my regular jet ski trailer, and so now I can carry around 3 skis on my trailer, 1 on the hauler, and 1 or 2 in the back of my truck, but I guess I gotta buy another jet ski.
Now it's time for the Vintage X2 Open. On the X22 is going to be Guyvan Thierry. On number 5, it's Ian Sears. On the 007 is going to be Nick Verdone. Ryan, the number 17, Joe Henderson. With the 36 of James Gagnon. 67 of William Hargrave. 109, Charles Sims. 155 is going to be Jason Triswell. The 161 of Dylan Hembard. 313 of Dennis Bontanga. And Chris Stenbach on the 630. Stoney looks down the line, the band snaps, and off and running they go. Try and get some numbers and they come by here. As the two come together, the inside and the outside split. Oh, it's gonna be see the 36 of Gagnon in second. Couldn't get a read. I believe that might be Guy Vinatieri. See if we can get him on the next time around here. I know that's the 36 of Gagnon in the second slot there. With a possibly Vinatieri up front, Gagnon there in second. Feeling that rough water down that back straightaway for sure. And it is Vinatieri. Up front, I should have known by the maroon paint job there. Doing a lot of dancing on that. This is the Sport Cross. There's Charles Sims in the 109. Does have a seat, but you really don't sit on it. So Vinatieri making his way towards that top right-hand side of the track on the back straightaway, seeing all that rough water. Gagnon in tow with Sims in that third position. I believe these haven't been manufactured since '86. So it's great to see a big resurgence of the X2s out there. It's called one of the original sport boats. Them and the Yamaha Wave Jammer. But the X2 was such a dominating force in racing there. Charles Sims, great shot of him on the 109. I believe that's Stenbach there on the 630. Yes, it is. Chris Stenbach out of Lake Havasu. Really tight-knit community. Lots of groups on social media. There's Ian Sears riding the 5X there. He's on the J-Rod Lono Boat program. Bummer for Will Hargrave, sorry, 67. Saw him out there floating. Vinatieri out front, leading this vintage X2 Open. Modified motors in these machines, exhaust pipes, carburetors. The 007, Nick Verdone. There's the purple flames of Sim. Stenbach on the 630 again goes by. A couple of riders trying to hunt him down. Oh, that really shows how rough it is out there. Your legs, your shock absorbers, your elbows, your arms, getting a lot of work out there. You actually kind of almost want to apply pressure, so you're pushing down on those handlebars. So when you kind of turn in, you push on the outside to get it to hook up a little bit there. You know, not a natural feeling. It's an art to ride these sport boats, the X2s. As Gagnon goes by, followed by Mr. Sims. If you want to make a boat hook up, he's always a good guy to talk to, Charles Sims. There's the 5X Moto boat there, Ian Sears. So the 223 out there. Looks like someone's riding someone else's boat there. The white flag is out. Vinatieri, Gagnon, Sims, the top three. Head shake. He knows he's got another position to get up there. And oh no, looks like Sears down on the 5X. He was running hard and good. But our leader, couple more turns. Checkered flag in his sights here. On the number 22, Guy Venturi out of Lake Havasu. So Henderson down there, but it's going to be Venturi. Venturi taking that checkered flag. James Gagnon, the 36, comes around. He'll be getting second. And looks like, I believe, Charles Sims ended up third there. Saw Jason Trisco by there, 55. Some lap riders there. So Guy Venturi takes the win here in Vintage X2 Open Moto 2. All right, it's time for the Junior Ski 10 to 12 lights. We got the number 12 of Tanner Haig on the number 17, Sebastian Roman. 26 going to be Bryce Chambers on the 103, Annabella Roman. Ashlyn King on the 409 with Brody King on the 411. 515 of Ty Smith. The triple nickel, the 555 of Maddox Haynes. And the 770 of Mason Haynes. Stoney looks down the line here to see all the kids getting ready there in this division. They're allowed to get into the tray. Make sure all these young racers are ready and off and running. Yamaha and Kawasaki, 2 strokes mixed in here. See the 555 there on the inside. Outside. Couldn't get a number read there, but that is, I do believe, Maddox Haynes. Yes, it is. 555 out of Lake Havasu City. TC Free Ride, Works Racing, Jet Trim. Try and get these numbers as they come by us here. And I believe that's Annabella Roman there on the 103. Young lady out of Chula Vista, California, the next generation racing. 515 there. Ty Smith. Ty comes to us from Lake Havasu. Riding for Go Fast USA and good old Chuck Speed Shop. Charles Anderson. Helping out some of the kids. So awesome. There's the 103 again. Annabella Roman in second. Try and chase down that triple nickel. Haynes, do believe she got him that time. So we have a new leader. The 555 drops back to second as Annabella putting on a clinic here today. Another fast and upcoming young lady. But Maddox not sitting back on his laurels right now. Side-by-side drag race. And he regains the lead. Oh, and then he goes down. Gets separated from the boat. And that's a rough one. You can see that current just taking him and pulling him far off. Parent trying to point out that son's down there. There's Annabella Roman again, holding on to it. How about that? Reminiscent of a young Tara Lejo. '26 there, Bryce Chambers. Bryce coming to us from Lake Havasu. Go Fast Racing. Mom and Dad. Great to see all these youngsters. It's a great program. And this race, of course, named after the Nedra Atwood, who we lost to COVID earlier this year. And problems there with the 103. Annabella Roman was hitting a wake, run down to her knees, but back to my original thought, Nedra was such a proponent of the junior store program, and a lot of these kids are prodigies that came out of that program. She'd work with all the local kids, and I see so many local Lake Havasu City kids. There, they pretty much know who he is. There's who she was. 411, Brody King on the gas, on the move. Looks like possibly moving up into second place there. Trying to chase down Annabella Roman. Annabella, our leader, early on. 515 there, that is Ty Smith. '26, once again, Bryce Chambers. Really liking these wraps these youngsters have, looking pretty sharp. .515 wrap job, kind of reminiscent of like Klippenstein's parts. I'm sure Chuck had something to do with that. And there's Annabella on the 103. And it looks like Ty Smith up into that second position that we talked about earlier. Lots of other great young riders out there. There's Ashland King there. Mason Haynes on the 770. He's going to go by. Young riders looking up at the tower for a ball. When are you going to pull that checkered flag? There's the 515, once again, Ty Smith. There's the white flag. Annabella Roman on the 103. Ty Smith on the 515. Oh boy. 103 starting to get a little company there. 515 Ty Smith starting to reel her in just a little bit there. Going down. Oh, problems. She looks over, tries to get up. She looks pretty spent right now. And it's rough down this back straightaway. Can Ty Smith hold on, catch up? Annabella getting tossed around like a rag doll there. Oh, it looks like Ty Smith going fast around the outside. We have a new leader. Ty Smith takes the lead. Annabella second. Now it looks like she's starting to get a little pressure from third place there. Checkered flag is out. It's going to be Ty Smith. Lead a hard one. The 411, Brody King. And the 103 there, Annabella Roman, though. A great shot. Annabella, I do believe, ended up second there. I believe Brody King coming across in third. But they'll get that all figured out in timing and scoring.
For me, I really need a thin glove, not sacrifice that with a bunch of padding that wrinkles up in my hands, causes blisters and calluses. The stitching and the quality of the stitching in this area where I spend a lot of time squeezing the boat, there's just enough here to give me a solid grip on the boat, a solid feel for the throttle. That to me is the part that sets them apart from the other gloves I've worn so far.
Well, as we move from the youngsters, we move on to the Ski Am Pro-Am two-stroke GP, Ski Amateur Vets GP, and Ski Expert GP. Mitch Tariq on the number 6, JB Gasparone on the 91. We got the 169 Sean K. Mata, 797 of Joel Cleveland, the 936 of Ricky Treviso. 23 is going to be River of Honor with the 27 of Michael Perry. Cooper Shuck Snyder on the 28. And Peyton Hill will be on the number 48. On the 76 will be Jack Briscoe, the 88 of Jake Pierce, and 209, Jacob Froome. The Stonies getting ready, got the 2 card in the air, everybody's got the engines fired up here. And with Van Sapton Seeds going to get the whole shot here as they come running out there. A couple different classes intermingled here. Looks like Jack Briscoe on the 76 got a good run there in 3rd or 4th. And it looks like to be the 88 there of Jake Pierce. Can't miss that lime green machine. The 28 of Cooper Shuck Snyder making a good run. But it's Pierce out front on one of the Pro Forces. Jacob Froome on the 209. But Pierce definitely hauling the mail down the back straightaway. Cooper Shuck Snyder on the 28 on his Commander Industries. Well, I don't even know if that Pro Force knew Jake's on him, just a little guy. Already racing in the expert division there. Cooper Shuck Snyder in tow. And I believe that's going to be Peyton Hill on the 48. Problem for Jacob Froome on the 209. Shuck Snyder able to get by and move up to 2nd. Jake Pierce still out front on the 88. Man, these things look like stealth fighters out there between the Commanders and the Pro Force. Just incredible job by, of course, Chris Haggis on the Pro Force side. And then we can see 76 there, Commander Industries, coming from Dustin Montzuris. And the Tyrant's got a little hand in it with Steve Webster. Jack Briscoe, a 2nd generation racer. And something going on there. Peyton Hill as Sean Kamada on the 169 goes by. Froome back up and charging hard on the 209. A little deeper in the field as we look at Jack Briscoe one more time. Jack coming to us from Herman, Utah, riding for Commander IPD, Jet Pilot, Rhino Power, C4 Performance. Family originally all from Huntington Beach, California. Church bells ringing there, high noon here in Parker, Arizona. As we look at Jacob Froome, we saw Jake Pierce earlier on the 88. Briscoe at a blistering speed here on his Commander. We're getting by Sean Kamada. Back up there we see Cooper Shuck Snyder trying to chase down that youngster Jake Pierce. Well, you can see Cooper's in attack position there with the elbows out. River Varner on the 23. Another one of our fast young ladies as she's moved up through the program. Out racing now in the expert GP class with all the fast boys, and she's holding her own, that's for sure. Getting by Mitch DeRica There's JB Gasparone on the 91, one of the bullet racing boats. Briscoe making his way through the split section on the right side of the track. But so far, this is pretty much all Jake Pierce out front on his Pro Force. And Chris Haig is probably sitting there with a smile on his face for sure. This kid is fast at anything as he gets the white flag. Anything he rides, he's quick on. You definitely can't miss that paint scheme. That green really shows up. Jack Briscoe and Cooper Sheck Snyder. Love the whole family. Dad races still, his sister races. So pretty cool having all the Sheck Snyders out here. You know, all these families hang together. But the checker flag comes out. Jake Pierce going to take the win. See Mitch Jurica circulating around there. And it's going to be Cooper Sheck Snyder in second. And Jack Briscoe will end up in the third position here at Moto number 2. With JB Gasparone winning his Ski Amateur Vets GP class.
One of the best cost-effective ways to get into jet skiing is to simply get a Kawasaki 550 or 440. A great way to make it better and a little more rideable is stuff like our rear sponson, our front sponson, and a ride plate. You can even style it up with one of our handle poles or even the hood. This is just a great cost-effective way to enjoy jet skiing.
All right, now it's time for Racing Raid Vintage 550 Ski. Riding the number 2 out of Serbia, Michael Berdovic, now making his home in Marysville, California. On the number 9 is going to be Jeremiah Marino. On the 62, Blake Cass. 95, Rachel Cummings. 118 of Jan Fitzgerald. 155 of Chloe Curtis. 476 of Andrew Cecere. 621 of Becky Pal Cooper. And Dylan Ulrich on the 954. As Pistone looks down the line, and off and running. And it looks like Andrew Cecere out front on the 476 machine. Andrew out of Hawthorne, California, right for Sand Hopper Beach Wagons. And Coy Curtis battling for that top position right now. But it's Cecere and Coy Curtis, 1 and 2. Still trying to figure out if the combined ages of these two riders is even as old as the ski that they're riding right now. This is the Vintage 550 ski class. Great to see the resurgence, as well as the 550s, the X2s. But oh, look at this, Coy Curtis. He's, Coy in a bad wake there. Andrew able to it, but Coy, he's got that never give up attitude. Gets on the hammer and pulls by Sincere to take the lead. Sincere gives them a handful, goes around the outside, and oh, Sincere, hard bounce there. Curtis avoids him and takes the lead right back. Great battle between these two riders here for sure. Gotta say, with all these new handling components that Pro Watercraft has come up for these 550s, they've really made them a competitive race ski. There's Michael Berdanovich on the number 2. Rachel Cummings on the 95. Good shot there, Blake Cass on the 62. All running the front sponsons and the rear lifter sponsons. Make these 550s, these pencils a little bit wider. Corey Curtis on the back stretch. Getting ready to go through a little lap traffic here. Oh, goes down. And Sincere, he's going to go back into the lead. Back and forth, back and forth. Look at this. Curtis tries to take the outside split. Sincere to the inside. Sincere looks over his left shoulder, sees Curtis coming, but he's out front, but he knows he's got a lap rider in front of him. You saw that blue flag with the yellow stripe come out, laying that rider, you know, faster lead traffic coming up on you. See how they're going to negotiate through here as the battle continues. Almost a slight sub there by Curtis. Boy, that young man has a lot of talent. In fact, both of them entrances here as well. Coy trying to interact, gets caught in his jet wash, gets sideways, able to recover nicely. Trying to get that rhythm, get that flow, get that rhyme down. Feeling the rhythm of the river. Let's just hear it. Big hop. Curtis to the outside, Sincere to the inside. 8 laps on a 550 here in race number 8. They knew they were young. And here comes Curtis trying to go the long way around. Set up to the inside for the pass. Sincere outside in, inside out. Curtis now out front. Just like that, a blink of an eye. And Coy Curtis is back out front now, really fighting that back chop. You can see half that boat literally disappears when it drops down into one of those holes. Good little back there to Andrew Sincere right now. Looks like Andrew getting a little tired there with a little Gumby Coy Curtis. So this is like a regular day ride at Bobby Beach for me. Sincere getting the white flag. He's grown quite a bit. I know pretty soon Coy's going to be tall like that. His dad, his mom Dana, both well in stature. Not exactly short. But it's Coy Curtis showing the acorn did not roll far from the tree. Get ready to come off the back stretch. A couple lap riders in front of him. Keep that momentum up there. See Rachel Cummings on the 95. There's Berdanovich down the lap there, but Coy Curtis going to take it. No Fitzgerald's back there. The Jet World rider. There's Sincere coming in second. So Coy Curtis, the big winner here in Moto 2. We'll see how it all shakes out. You always go to the RPM website. Check the official standings here at rpmenterprises.com. On to Amateur Vet Ski Stock 1500 and Ski Pro Amateur Stock. On the number 20 is going to be Eric Swick. Michael Evingham is going to be on the number 22. Judd Palmer on the number 80. 164 of Jay Hobson. 258 Josh West. 508 David Zapirian. The 939 of Darren Schneider. Followed by the number 9 of Marco Marinati and Ariana Thayer on the 831. There's the band snap, off and running they go. A clockwise track here with a right-hand start. Great to see him switch it up there. A little bit easier to start up into the current. And it looks like it's going to be Ariana Thayer, I do believe, the 831. And I believe the 939 Darren Schneider here coming by. We'll get a better look here as we see some numbers here in the next shot. Looks like the sport class getting ready to come up to the line here. Sport Spec. Reyes standing on the line next here. So we get a big long shot here. So wait for the riders to move from the left side to the right side of the track. And there's our leader there. Looks to be Ariana Thayer still out front here. Let's see who's going to be second coming across here. Looks like the 258 of Josh West having some problems there. There's the 164 Jay Hobson. He's down too. Both to their knees. As Ariana Thayer continues to make her way through there. It looks like David Zapirian on the 508 in second place. Totally missed that. The 508 there. Should have recognized that blue and yellow scheme. But can't miss the 831. Ariana Thayer. Loving that wrap on that machine. Looking good. Easy to recognize. Great to see her recovering and riding great now. Looks like she's back up to her normal quick self. Zapirian on the 508, still sitting in that second slot. There's Josh West. Goggles off, so was that an issue there we saw. There's Zapirian in the 508. He's going to make his way through a little lap traffic there. Great shot of Zapirian down the back straight. Getting that big 1500 to hook up. Best seat in the house of these boats that are going by. Back up to Ariana. Going down that front straight at the left side of the track. Zapirian. Ariana, sponsored by Go Fast. The Boat Brokers, Liquid Molly, Jet Trim, BP Concepts, One Finger, Hydro Stars, and Red Rocks. Then we're looking at Zapirian, Go Fast US, Destination Hydration. Yeah, a little issues there. Looks like Josh slowing down. Oh, he's having some kind of issue there. Judd Palmer coming down. Great to see Judd Palmer back. Going through us from Utah. Ariana Thayer, 831. Ooh, hitting that bad weight there, almost subbing it. That boat traffic does not help out. Joe's definitely slowed her down a little bit. Eight laps make up the distance. Only one lap to go for this young lady. We're going to take the overall here. Another shot at Judd Palmer. Superior. Uh-oh, issue Superior. It's on his knees, down looking at something on his ski there. The panel. There's Darren Schneider on the 931. I'm sorry, 939. Maxwell Racing Motors, Rhino Power, OGO. Looks like jet trim. I see Shreddy on there. Blake Wilkins, Shreddy. 164 making the appearance again. Jay Hobson out of Carlsbad, California. But with only another turn to go, checkered flag comes out for this young lady. Ariana Thayer taking the big win. Well, as we're moving on here to Sports Spec here, we're going to bring out the number 1 of Meg Conroy out of Phoenix, Arizona. Tony Parker is going to be on the number 23 out of San Diego. Hunter Dunn's going to be on the number 9. On the 111s, Annie Sims. 168, Nanette Sanchez. 169, Ronnie Parker. And the 888s, Ryder Wildebourne, making his first appearance here in Sports Spec. Two card in the air. A couple riders trying to get a good jump on it. It's the SEADOO of Ryder Wildebourne, the 888. It's going to jump out early here. See if you can get the first recorded hole shot here for him. On the HX versus the Yamaha Wave Blaster. It's going to be Ryder Wildebourne with a hole shot. Hunter Dunn on the number 99. And the 169 there, that's going to be Ronnie Parker. So it's the HX getting chased down by a couple Yamahas as he moves on to the back straight. So Dunn in hot pursuit here of our leader, Ryder Wildebourne. I have a feeling anything this kid jumps on, he's going to be really quick. Going to make some riders nervous here, that's for sure. So isn't he a stand-up kid, they said? Yeah, well, now he's racing sport. Wait till you see him on a runabout next. Hunter looked good on his Yamaha Wave Blaster. when the Yamaha Wave Blaster came in 93, pretty much took the X2s out of the picture of contention. There's still a couple of them that ran really well. And then the Yamaha became the dominant sport boat. Then comes the SEADOO HX. And then they became the dominant. And of course, in the open classes and modifieds and with a lot of the holes, they're putting the SEADOO holes at the bottom of the Yamahas and vice versa, making them faster. But we're seeing Ronnie Parker there in the 169. Sharp looking paint job. Really a fun boat to ride. It's like riding a street bike on the water with jumps, like a dirt bike. Ronnie looking very smooth as he moves his way onto the back stretch there. Ryder Wildeboer still out front. Hunter Dunn on the 99. Hunter running for Mom and Dad, Fly Racing, Jet Trim, Jet Pilot, Fly Racing, JC Racing, High Speed Industries. Ryder Wildeboer, originally out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, now living in Havasu. Rider for TC Free Ride, Barrel House, John Hillhouse, Mom and Dad, and of course, Clipper Racing. The bell tolls for many riders out on the track right now, but this lady, world's fastest grandma, as we always like to joke, Annie Sims, big help putting all these classes together, but a real tiger out on the track there. Call her Psycho Sims. She's not afraid to rail you for sure, that's for sure. She's awesome. Annie's out of Lake Elsinore riding for Jet Drive, C57 Racing, M-Pros, and of course Bomber Eyewear. School teacher by trade, a racer at heart. There's Ryder Wildeboer. And then we got Nanette Sanchez out there on 168. Bad Betty Squadron. Nanette riding for LG1 Designs, Charger Sanchez, and her mom and dad. So we look at our 888s of Ryder Wildeboer. Boy, that kid is grown. Many more championships in his future. You know, he came away with a Thai Cup, the King's Cup. Looks over his shoulder, doesn't see any threat there as the white flag comes out. Hunter Dunn, super nice young man. We got to watch grow up. I know he's been working for PCI Race Radios. Here down the future, here he's going to be going to lineman school. So pretty cool to see him progress. The rest of the riders get the white flag as they come by. Ryder Wildeboer getting the checkered. Hunter Dunn. He got it done in second. There's Nanette Sanchez. Oh no, you still got to finish. Almost there. There we go. There's the checkered flag for her. So the rest of the field's going to go out there and they'll get it all straightened out again. You can go to rpmracingenterprises.com for all the information. Now it's time for the Runabout Rec Lights. The sparks are out there. 2 riders on the line. The number 1 of Owen Fust and the 222s of Jim Alamillo. They'll be on here for Moto number 2. And the band snap off and running. Looked like a good start. Coming off the outside splits. Green flag is out. And it looks like the 222s of Jim Alamillo fussed in that second position. So fussed on the black and green Spark out there. Then we have the blue and white one of Alamillo. Alamillo out of Palmdale, California. Riding for Nickerson Performance, Hill Racing, and Watercraft Direct. Owen riding for MasterCard and Visa. See Alamillo coming off onto the front strat here. 2 laps to go. Fuss would continue to charge as he gets the 2 laps to go here. White flag will come out. Alamillo continues to lead. Fuss to be in hot pursuit. Was coming from Huntington Beach, California. Alamillo will hit the back straightaway. Find some of that rough water there. Boat traffic adding to it along with the current. A little bit of wind chop also involved. See the palm trees blowing in the distance. Checker flag will come out this next time around. Jim gives a quick look over his right shoulder to see where Fuss is. Gives it a hard charge here on the outside split. He will take the checkered flag and the win here in Moto number 2. Owen Fuss will come across in second. Pro Rider Watercraft Magazine, the premier print and digital publication for personal watercraft enthusiasts, delivers up-to-date content from manufacturers and aftermarket pioneers and features racing, recreational riding, PWC fishing, tech tips, youth highlights, product reviews, freestyle, and more. Whether an industry representative, recreational rider, competitor, or a weekend warrior, Pro Rider Watercraft Magazine offers fresh insight on what's happening in the most exciting water sport on the planet. Subscribe and follow Pro Rider Watercraft Magazine on Instagram and Facebook. All right, it's time to move to the youngsters out here. We got the Junior Ski 13 to 15 lights. Riding the number 27 out of Lake Havasu, Sebastian Garello. On the 38, Tyler Ward out of Lake Havasu. 55 of Patrick Parker out of Galt, California, with the 68 of Rowan Morris out of Laguna Niguel. Jack Fisher will be on the 122 out of Yorba Linda. 125 of Josh Simon out of Corona. Reese Geis will be on the 141 out of Scottsdale. And Dane Duda on the 712 out of Newport Beach, California. The band's snapping off and running. Here they go. See who's going to get the whole shot coming around here, inside, outside. See Duda back in second. And it looks like Sebastian Garello on the 27 off the inside. He's going to get the whole shot as he comes across the green flag. Dane Duda looks like he's right in toe behind him in second. Third place. And here comes fourth. We'll get some numbers this next time around. There's the 38 machine of Tyler Ward out of Lake Havasu. Tyler's going to be what it looks like in that third position there with the 122 in tow of Jack Fischel. Jack comes from Yorba Linda, California on the Go Fast Performance fiberglass. But it's Sebastian Garello out front on the Go Fast US Blosian Jet Trim Quickie Sense, Motul, Bell Helmets, Scott, H2O Works Design, BP Concepts, Gasket Technologies, and On the Gas and Ogio. So I give those sponsors out there a little bit for the show, man, as it needs. Dane Duda there on the 712. He comes to us from Newport Beach on the DMC Enterprises, Havasu Air Center, and Hero Industries. And oh, rider having problems there. That looks like the 125 Josh Simon. Josh out of Corona, California, the Rivershoe Motorsports Group. As we watch the riders circulating on the left side of the track, as they serpentine through the buoys. Left hand on the orange, right hand on the yellow. Real close race with these racers back here fighting behind Garello. There's 125 Josh Simon. Well, you can tell how rough it is. His body is definitely getting worked out there for sure. Once again, these are kids from 13 to 15 who are riding light boats, which in this case denotes the two strokes, usually the Yamahas. The 38 there, Tyler Ward. That's our second place boat. Tyler trying to get down in that attack position, getting those knees squatted. Bent so you can squat down, get low, get that center of gravity. Oh, looks like we're wanting a challenge here. Official making a big run up on him. Nice. Looks like Ward's going to go to the outside. And not seeing Garello. I'm not sure what happened here. We'll have to keep an eye on it. There's Fischel on the 122 getting by the 38 of Tyler Ward. Good little battle watching these riders here. .125 of Josh Simon on the silver Superjet. Seeing the caution flag out. That was due to the 55 there of Patrick Parker going down, back up and riding. So letting other riders know that there's a rider in the water. 2 laps to go, the sign from the tower. Official, 122. Just blown by one of the back markers. A good spray off. 38 there, Tyler Ward. There's Garello. Something was going on. Charging hard again. Man, it is rough on that back straightaway. You can see him getting low there. Having to play with the throttle, keep that boat hooked up. He's bouncing all over the place, almost out of control. White flag is out. And there's the checkered. So Gorella's going to take the win. I guess he just got so far ahead of everybody. He got into a lot of lap traffic. You think he might have got up to third place. There's Dave Duda coming across. He'll be second. And it looks like the 38 of Tyler Ward will wrap out the Moto 2 position for third place. It's time for the Ski Women's Stock 1500. We got the number 8 of Hannah West out of Temecula, California, with 11 of Dakota Salisbury out of St. George, Utah. 24, Shani Seidenberg out of Huntington Beach. Mackenzie Shuck Snyder on the 28 out of Oak Hills, California, with Miss Sean Palmer on the 80 out of St. George. Becky Powell Cooper out of Colorado Springs, the 721, the 777 of Anna Glennon, Lake Havasu, and Ariana Thayer on the 831 out of Lake Havasu. All right, with the band snap off and running. Looks it's going to be Ariana Thayer with the whole shot. Do believe that's the 777s there of Anna Glennon there. Jet Girl in second. Both going to the inside here. Let's see. Buddy on the outside going to try and challenge. No, it's going to be Ariana Thayer with the whole shot. Anna Glennon fighting for it there, coming across. We'll get the rest of the names they come around this next time. Try and read some numbers here as we get some shots on them. Glennon, of course, in second. And I do believe 24 there, Shani Seidenberg out of Huntington Beach, California. Ariana getting that 1500 hooked up down the back straightaway. Of course, these are all the stock 1500s with, of course, handling, a few tunes to them. Pellet chain, scoop grate, ride plate, some handling add-ons. But it's there. Out front, still in command. There's a great shot of Anna Glennon, the Pro Watercraft. Kawasaki 1500 there. Anna riding for, of course, Pro Watercraft, ADA Racing, Quakey Sense, Jet Trim, and Boss Man built. Boy, those things are just getting tossed around out there. It is rough. A good style that she's got going on there. You know, her and Ariana and a whole group of girls that ride down at Body Beach. But it's there, still out front. Glennon and Seidenberg. Looks like we got the Grand Master class lining up. There's Mackenzie Snyder there on the 28. Mackenzie out of Oak Hills, California, riding for M&M Marine. Ariana, the Go Fast, the Boat Brokers, Liquid Molly, Jet Trim, BP Concepts, One Finger, and Hydro Stars and Red Rocks. Great shot of McKenzie, Sheck Snyder down the back straightaway. Good thing those 1500s are big and heavy because it's really helping out in that rough water back there. We see him negotiate onto the front straight. And we're going to see if we can see who's running behind McKenzie there. And no one close enough to really challenge her yet, so not into the picture. See Ariana Thayer, our leader. Looking good down that back straightaway. Got a nice comfortable lead at this point. Looking for the sign on the tower. How many laps to? Oh, 1 lap to go. White flag is out. Anna Glevin on the 777s there. Sure, she's getting some good footage on her onboard there. You can see on her helmet. Rest of the field getting the white flag at this point. Thayer on the back straightaway. Glennon now on the back straightaway. Trying to make a mad dash. Not a lot of time left. There's Shani Seidenberg, 3rd place. Checkered flag getting ready to come out as Ariana Thayer takes the win here in Moto number 2 for the women's stock 1500. Anna Glennon's going to wrap up 2nd here. And it looks like Shani Seidenberg will come across the line in 3rd place, followed by Mackenzie Sheck Snyder. So that's going to wrap it here for Moto number 2. And of course, all the results will be posted on rpmracingenterprises.com. It's time for the Ski Grandmaster. On the number 1 boat out of Lake Elsinore, California is Charles Sims. Out of Las Vegas, Nevada, number 11, it's Greg Mata. On the 40, it's Lake Havasu's Bob Hyde. Charles Anderson on the double nickel is going to be out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Steve Fitson on the 101 out of Las Vegas. Wade Bordern on the 21 out of Lake Havasu. David Fitzer on the 601 out of Huntington Beach. And the 621, Glenn Powell. Those two is from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Band snap and off and running. And it looks like it's going to be Greg Mata who's going to get the whole shot on the number 11. Oh, goes over. And it looks like it's going to be David Fisser on the inside. Fisher's going to get the whole shot there. So it looks like Bob Hyde on the 40. So we'll see when they come by here. We'll get some more numbers. Mata back up and running. There's Steve Fitzen on the 101 on his Yamaha 4-stroke Superjet. There's Charles Sims on the 55. I'm sorry, on the number 1. Charles Anderson on the 55 right behind him. So a couple Superjets out on this one. Very cool. David Fisser on the 601. Out front out of Huntington Beach, riding for Hickey Speed and Jetworks. Oh, having some problems. Started to sub a little bit. Started to porpoise. Getting that rough water. Now he's looking, it looks like he's lost on the course. Now that's a GPS failure there. And look at this. Bob Hyde on the old school Superjet, the 2-stroke. Against all these 4-strokes, going to take the lead. Visser eventually figures it out. Gets onto the front straight. Didn't lose too many positions. Looks like Fitzen and Charles Sims battling it out there in their Superjets. Boy, it is rough out there. These riders, you can tell, really slowing down. Of course, this is the Grand Master. Over 50 years of age. 50 years young, I should say. A few of these guys, I think, a few years past it. I think I was talking to them all, and I think combined age is somewhere of like 500. There's Greg Mata on the number 11. Uh-oh, having the same problem, the same place. I believe he was the winner for Moto number 1, so seeing him struggle here in Moto number 2. Bob Hyde. Mata's making up some positions, though. Fits in Charles Sims. There's Mata. Yeah, it looks like we've got a rider. Had some issue. Looks like Wade Blodorn, the 21, going down there on the left side of the track. Boy, it couldn't be any rougher for these guys. Hey, look at this. Mata trying to catch back up here. Fister trying to make the pass on the 40 of Bob Hyde. Mata goes screaming by both of them on the outside. Calling for redemption. They say every dog has his day, and Mad Dog definitely having his out there. Fister finding a fistful there, trying to chase him down. 2 laps to go, the sign from the tower. There's Bob Hyde. Now Steve Fitzen on the 101 trying to challenge Hyde. Hyde able to negotiate. Running great on that old school 2-stroke against all these new technology 4-strokes, the Cowies, 1500s, the Superjets, and their 1049cc motors. Mata on the number 11. Runs the Las Vegas PWC schools. Sponsored by Motec, Skiwee Rentals, Official Handyman, Vertical Dish Rack, and DASA. And there's the white flag. He sees a little relief in his future. 1 lap to go. So these guys are getting tired. They're all standing up. Straight up. Nobody's squatting right now. Fitz are trying to do that a little bit. It's so rough out there, though. These guys are just in survival mode. Hyde. Incredible ride on that number 40. There's Charles Sims on that number 1 Yamaha SEADOO, riding for Jet Tribe, C57 Racing, M-Pros, and Bomber Eyewear. Steve Fitzen scrimming by there on the Yamaha Las Vegas, Jet Trim, and Riva Racing. And there's Charles Anderson out of Lake Havasu, Jet Tribe, Jet Trim, Hot Products, McMurray TV Center, Clipper 212, Chuck Speed Shop, BP Concepts, Works H2O, Hot Products in Oakley. And there it is, checker flag. And even Greg Motta can't believe it. He had to look twice. Checker flag really came out, and he won after going down twice. Nice redemption. David Fisser going to come across in the Hickey Speed Jetworks machine in second. And how about that? Bob Hyde rounding out third place here in Moto number 2. Now it's time for the Ski Amateur Lights on the number 9, Deegan Newton out of Lake Havasu. Sebastian Gorilla on the 27 out of Lake Havasu. 137 of Mark Gomez out of Lake Havasu. 155, Coy Curtis, also out of Lake Havasu, is Stevie Bascom on 365. She's out of Lake Havasu City. And the 888s of Ryder Wildeboer out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And the band snap off and running. So he's got the whole shot on this one. And it looks like it's going to be Coy Curtis on the 155 on the inside. Looks like Gorello right behind him on the 27. And I do believe the 888's Ryder Wildeboer up into third place. See the top 3, 4 riders now, 5 riders entering the left side of the track. Coy Curtis on the 155 TC Free Ride machine looks over his right shoulder. See how close the 27 of Sebastian Gorello is. He's grabbing a fistful down that back straight. A little bit calmer than we've seen in other races through the day, but the more laps they do, the more boat traffic and the more the current moves with the wind, the worse it gets. There's Gorello on the Go Fast US machine. Blosian, Jet Trim, Quakey Sense. Motul, Bill Helmets. Ryder Wildeboer on the TC Free Ride, Barrel House, John Hillhouse, and Mama Dad and Clipper. There's Ryder on the 888s. Another second generation rider. His mom used to ride back in the day, race. Tricia, so it's great to see that. As well as Coy Curtis and Sebastian, both their dads been involved in the sport for a long time. Love seeing the torch pass, basically. Again, this is the Ski Amateur Lights division. Top 3 riders are definitely naturals for sure, but not saying they haven't put their time in on the water. But it definitely came very easy to these youngsters growing up around the sport. I think it was encoded into their genes. We take a look again, still at Ryder Wildeboer. Oh, nice recovery. Coy Curtis, our leader, 155, followed by the 27, Sebastian Gorello. And the 888s once again, Ryder Wildemore. Of course, this is an IJSBA qualifying round, allowing these riders to qualify to go to the 40th anniversary of the IJSBA World Finals. They're all sitting in a real good position right now for sure. Look at that, switching feet. Great to see him get it so young. Left foot forward for the left turns, right foot forward for the right turns. Keeping the backside of the turn. Proper style. There's Mark Gomez, 137. Not only is a master of free ride and freestyle and a former world champion, but one heck of a closed course racer. Speaking of one heck of a closed course racer, white flag out for that young man, Coy Curtis and Sebastian Garello. I'll tell you, in a couple years, these are going to be the guys battling for the world titles in the pro classes. We're absolutely sure. He's top 3 riders now. But in this race, Coy Curtis looking to take that checkered flag and the win here in Moto number 2. Of course, again, it's a combination of Moto 1 and Moto 2 for the overall. But Coy Curtis taking this one. Sebastian Grillo getting in second. And the 888s of Ryder Wildemore will come across in third here in this final moto. Well, it's time here for race number 16. We got Matt Legurski on the 62 out of Flagstaff, Arizona. Rusty Wilson on the 66 out of Lake Havasu. 28 of Cooper Scheck-Snyder out of Hesperia. 44 of Rafael Moran out of Lake Havasu. Jack Briscoe out of Herman, Utah on the 76. Tool Cole Kramer out of Lake Havasu. And Ian Roberts on the 658 out of Sparks, Nevada. And the band snap off and running. Ski Masters GP and Ski Pro-Am GP on the track. And it looks like Rafael Moran on the 44 with the whole shot. Running one of those very fast Commander Industry skis. And just like that, out like a cannon. That thing is just staying glued to the water. Raphael, hailing from France originally. Been staying in Lake Havasu and training. There's Cooper Scheck-Snyder on the 28, also on a Commander Industries boat. Top two riders hit the back straightaway. And it looks like the 202 Cole Kramer, also on a Commander Industries boat, looking very fast. But the fast man out front, that's Raphael Marin on the 44. Raphael running the Commander Industries ski there. Cooper Scheck Snyder looks like he's lost position because it looks like Cole Kramer now into second place. And I do believe that's Cooper now into third. Kramer running like a young man possessed on getting that first position. Raphael, though, a veteran of the pro class. There's Ian Roberts goes by the 658. Ian also on a Commander Industries machine. There's Jack Briscoe on the 76. Another Commander Industries machine. Well, you can see the shadows and the way the sun's getting ready to set with these riders. Got to be in their eyes as they head towards the west side of the track and then get a little reprieve when they head away. So we watch Roberts down the back straight. There's Kramer again on the 202. Three shot there of Ian Roberts again down the front straightaway. Tell you, Ian and coming all the way to Sparks, Nevada, and then you have Jack Briscoe coming from Herman, Utah, pretty far. 4 laps down, 4 laps to go here as the courtesy markers go up here from Pistoni in the tower. Kramer in pursuit of Raphael Marin. Just like that, Marin onto the back stretch. Kramer just getting onto the back straight right now. Little dog leg left there. Just amazing how these skis just stay glued to the water. And Kramer going down, back up and running. Not sure whether he lost any positions or not there because he was actually pulling away from third pretty far there, but Marin able to stretch his lead out even more. There's Cooper Scheck Snyder on the 28 again. You see how rough these conditions are here? That thing is just staying glued down. Never comes out more than a couple inches. Keeping that pump hooked up. But Marin knocking down another lap. Kramer with a fistful of throttle down the front straight, still trying to chase down our leader. I do believe this next time by for Marin, the white flag will be coming out. And it looks like we got a rider down there on the back straight. And it looks like it was Ian Roberts. Cooper Scheck Snyder. He'll click off another lap there. But here comes Raphael Marin. White flag. 1 lap to go. Beautiful carved turn there by Cole Kramer, the 202. Cole riding for Mom and Dad, Ricky T, KSH, Fuel Products, IPD Graphics, JC Racing, Jet Trim, and Pro Water or Powercraft, sorry. But only a couple more turns here. Marin sees the checkered flag. And he's going to take this one wire to wire. Rafael Marin on the 44 takes this one. Very dejected Ian Roberts. Tough one to him. Briscoe comes across, and there's going to be Kramer. All right, it's time for race number 17. Runabout actually aspirated limited here with number 5, Renee Hill out of Lake Havasu. Number 11 is Sam Cap out of Lakewood, California. Brandon Warner's going to be on the 21 out of Lake Havasu. James Alamillo on the 222 out of Palmdale. And Juan Soto will be on the 661 out at Tehachapi, California. All right, off and running here. So that old school Wave Raider there, but it's going to be Renee Hill on the number 5 with the whole shot. And look at this. We got a challenge already going on. Renee Hill just slammed the door and says, nope, I got the lead over Juan Soto on the 661, or I'm sorry, on the 21 of Brandon Warner. So it's Hill, Warner, 1 and 2. Do believe that same Cap out of Lakewood and that old Wave Raider there. Said number 4, but not seeing another 4 boat out there. Or I'm sorry, number 11 boat. Great shot of Brandon Warner on the 21. Looks like he was able to get by Renee Hill and take that lead. Renee Hill back in second. Tank out. There goes by in the Yamaha. So it's a couple of SEADOOs out front. Brandon Warner, very talented, smooth young man. Renee Hill, former world champion women's runabout champion. Cap on that old school Wave Raider. Very cool to see that. It's got the old Mac on there. Looks like one of the old Protec boats with Cluggage's old seat on there. It's got to be some good luck in that one. Chris McCludge, of course, one of the GOATs, greatest of all time in watercraft racing, along with a few other ones, but he's got quite a few world and national titles. Definitely looks like it handles for sure. A lot of people talking about it on the beach there. But Warner continues to lead with Hill in second. Renee Hill as we follow her to the left side of the track onto the back straightaway. Followed by the Wave Raider. Looks like we got Juan Soto out there and Jim Alamillo. Yeah, that boat's got a not quite as a deep V hull, little Wave Raider, so definitely have a little more problem with the chop versus deep V, these SEADOOs. Looks like Alamillo there, the 222. Remember the old XP hulls. Of course, the newer XPLs. At the time, these are naturally aspirated limiteds, meaning no superchargers, no fuel injection, just straight old carburetors. I got a hand to Captain on that Wave Raider. That is a rough ride for sure. Definitely have to be aggressive on it. There's Jim Alamillo. Right in the 222. And then the 661 Juan Soto in tow. And we're not seeing Brandon Warner go by here, so I'm wondering if he may have dropped off here. Renee Hill just out front by herself getting chased by San Cap. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. And I'm going to say Renee Hill now, all by her lonesome out there in first. And Cap, followed by Jim Alamillo and Juan Soto. So it must have been some mechanical issues for Brandon Warner. Heartbreaker. It's great to see he's made a full recovery from a couple years ago and he had a horrible collision at Lake Elsinore, and good to see him to fight back and still compete and be very competitive. Not like to see somebody go out on a mechanical though. There it is, Renee Hill. Retired teacher from Riverside, California, now making her home in Lake Havasu. Nothing slows her down. Pro Rider Watercraft Magazine, the premier print and digital publication for personal watercraft enthusiasts, delivers up-to-date content from manufacturers and aftermarket pioneers and features racing, recreational riding, PWC fishing, tech tips, youth highlights, product reviews, freestyle, and more. Whether an industry representative, recreational rider, competitor, or a weekend warrior, Pro Rider Watercraft Magazine offers fresh insight on what's happening in the most exciting water sport on the planet. Subscribe and follow Pro Rider Watercraft Magazine on Instagram and Facebook. And it's time for Ski Novice Lights. On the line, the 003 out of Glendale, Arizona. It's Kirk Walker. On the number 17 from Lake Havasu, Joey Heron. Also from Lake Havasu, riding the 22, it's James Hendry. And out of Laguna Niguel, California, 51 James Dean. On the 125 out of Corona is Josh Simon. 171 of Max Christian out of San Clemente. 646 of Parker Porter out of Yorba Linda. 665 of Trevor Jensima out of San Clemente. 811 of Nick Janis out of Huntington Beach. And Jet Kopchak out of Lake Havasu on the 824. And the bandstand. And we're going to see who gets, our leader went down there, so let's see. Yeah, it looks like a couple of riders getting a little confused there. The 22, James Hendry on the outside, and uh-oh, red flag. So we're going to have to re-rack them, restack them, and refire them. Well, hopefully it's the second time's the charm for this group here. Novice Ski Lights, once again. The two strokes. With a plethora of Yamaha Superjets there and a few Cowies mixed in there. Trying to get a read on the numbers as they're going to come down the front straight here, inside, outside. We'll get the splits here. Looks to be the 811 so far, Nick Janis. And it's going to be Nick Janis on the 811 with the hole shot and the lead. Rest of the pack moving down, getting the green flag. Good start here. No more red flags on this one for sure. Janis on the 811 out of Huntington Beach, California, running for Circuit Jet Sports, Moto Cuts, and KC Racing. Try and get a few numbers as the rest of the riders come through. A little bit of cloud cover here. Winds kicked up, getting really rough. Some of that boat traffic here in the afternoon on a Saturday. 824 machine there. Jet Kopchak out of Lake Havasu in that second slot. So he comes across. There's the 22 there, James Hendry. .171 of Max Christian there. And then it looks like Josh Simon on the 125 right behind him. But it's the 811 of Nick Janis out front. Rider from Surf City, USA, Huntington Beach, California. Making that Kawasaki look good. Superjets have been so dominant, but I think with this rough water, a little bit larger, a little bit wider, stable, but I may have spoke too soon. Oh no, that was like a lap rider, 003 there, Kirk Walker. He was trying to challenge him, but not going to be a factor. And it really gives you a perspective of how rough it is with these rollers coming in. You can see the trees, the leaves and the branches bending in the wind, the current, the boat traffic, all factors that make for a rough, interesting race for sure. And oh, look at this, the 003 Kirk Walker out of Glendale, Arizona. And we have a battle going on here for sure. 811 of Nick Janis. And then a battle back for second. I come by the stripe one more time, put another lap, knock it off there. And Ryder going down in the rough water, back up again. And this is going to be interesting on the back straight here once again. Nick Janis out front. A little bit of pounding punishment back behind with these other riders getting that rough water. And oh, high side goes down, the triple nickel there. Six laps make up the distance. So next time by for our leader, I do believe, will be 2 laps. Then we should see the white flag after that. And then the riders are hoping for that checkered flag, as rough as it is, out on the track. Nick Janis, the 811, a rider from Huntington Beach, California. Rider for Circuit Jet Sports, Moto Cuts, and KC Racing. On his Kawasaki 800 SXR. It looks like he's going to see a little lap traffic this next time by. And there's the blue flag with the yellow stripe, letting the riders in front of our leader. White flag is out for the 811, Nick Janis. One lap to go. See Hendry back there in the 22 and some lap traffic now. So our leader easily negotiates through. Or not so easily at this point because it's getting rough. He's looking like a rag doll here in this last lap. There he goes, gets by the lap traffic. Going to come off the back straightaway. He will see a checkered flag come out. So there it is, the 811. Nick Janis out of Huntington Beach, California. Putting that Circuit Jet Sports, Moto Cuts, and KC Racing on top of the box here in Moto number 2.
My dad's car. He's gonna kill me.
I'm gonna go take a hot shower, which is like a normal shower, but with me in it.
I got nothing.
It's time for the Ski Women's Novice Lights. On the line now, we got Temecula, California, the number 8 of Reese Renner. Riding the number 14 out of Oak Hills, California, it's Mackenzie Sheck Snyder. From Huntington Beach, California, she rides the number 24, it's Shani Seidenberg. With the 34 is Zoe Chambers out of Lake Havasu. Out of Scottsdale, Arizona, the 141 of Reese Geis, and Sabrina Cook on the 327 out of Riverside, California. Two cars up in the air, man getting ready to snap here. Robbie down in the water getting ready to drop that band for these riders. Or snap that band, I should say. And there they go. And I'm going to say that's Reese Geis up front with the hole shot. And oh no, red flag. Somebody possibly could have jumped there. We'll see who's going to get penalized. So we're going to back here to the line. So as they get back up there, the Stoney's going to look down once again and off and running. And that was Reese Geis who actually got penalized there. She's having some issues getting off the line. There she goes. So it's going to be the 327 of Sabrina Cook gets the hole shot. Cook going off the inside split. As they hit the front straightaway, the green flag is out. Shani Seidenberg on the 24. Mackenzie Sheck Snyder on the 14. And oh no, more problems for Geis, so she goes down again. Sheck Snyder having a little bit of problem. She gets back on course there. Gets back up in the tray. They're standing up. But how about Sabrina Cook with the hole shot there? Sabrina comes from us from Riverside, California. And then there's the three. Then she's on the 327 out front, coming off the back straightaway now. Cook on the front straight. Riders all behind her going down the front straightaway. 6 laps make up the distance here. As we see the 34 is Zoe Chambers out of Lake Havasu. Go Fast Racing, mom and dad sponsors. And then the number 8 there, Reese Renner out of Temecula, California. Back up to our leader here, Sabrina Cook in the 327. Sabrina just getting ready to come off that back straightaway. There's Shani Seidenberg, a.k.a. Blondie. Shani running for Jet Tribe, Jet Trim, IPD Graphics, River Rat, Motorsports, and Fly Racing. Good shot there, the number 14, Mackenzie Sheck Snyder. And Shani Seidenberg now grabbing a handful down that back straight, trying to catch up to Sabrina Cook. Little Inland Empire and the Orange County rivalry going on. Laps starting to dwindle down. Once again, we see the blue and white 14 Mackenzie Sheck Snyder. Mackenzie riding for M&M Marine. Comes to us from Oak Hills, California. Up in the high desert. Reese Geis now trying to eke her way up through the pack after a dead engine start and having issues coming off. And saw her go down a little bit, but nice recovery. Reese riding for Scottsdale Cycle Center. Dad, Troy Lee Designs, Ultimate Watercraft Performance, Jet Pilot, Jet Trim, M-Pros, ODI, VP Race Fuels, Riva, TC Freeride, 100% goggles. White flag is out. Sabrina Cook, the 327. And then Sheck Snyder, looks like good run for her now. There's Reese Geis. I'm not sure what happened to Cook there. Let's see. We see Mackenzie, Sheck Snyder on the 14. She'll be coming off the back straight. There's Reese Geis on the 141. Going to the outside split. So something happened to Sabrina Cook because Mackenzie Sheck Snyder takes the checkered flag. And coming across there, Geis. So that's what it's going to wrap here for moto number 2.
So I put the GLX helmet on today for the first time ever. Hadn't really had my hands on one before. My initial wow was the weight right out of the box. It just felt nice on my head. Didn't get heavy when it got wet. The field of view when it's on my head and I'm looking out, very good field of vision out of my GLX helmet. I'm racing in the top class most of the time. Skis in my class that go beyond 70 miles an hour. You come off the boat at those speeds, the water is gonna hurt your head. So I need something that protects my head potentially from another boat going 70 miles an hour past my head. So in the aspects to safety, the GLX helmet meets my safety expectations.
All right, here we go for Ski Master Stock 1500. Eric Swick out of San Diego, California on the number 20. Michael Evingham on the 22 out of Laguna Niguel. Marty Wells out of Colton, California on the 29 with Jed Palmer on the 80 out of St. George, Utah. Dan Fitzgerald on the 118 out of Sylmar, California with Jonathan Levy on the 156 out of San Clemente. And David Zapirian out of Tucson, Arizona on the 508. Two card in the air, goes to one, let's see, oh, not yet. And he held him up a little bit there. And it looks like everybody going to the inside here on this start. David Zapirian on the 508 machine, riding for Go Fast USA Destination Hydration with the hole shot. He was the only one who chose to do that inside split. Everybody else went to the outside. And it looks like a couple of riders not making the call here for motor number 2. Only showing 4 riders out of the 7. So there's Dan Fitzgerald on the number 18, or 118. Superior, of course, out front. Fitzgerald. And then the 20 of Eric Swick in third. And it looks like Palmer not making the call here. Swick getting by Fitzgerald for a second. Let's see, Fitzgerald has a little problem. He goes to the inside, Swick to the outside. Superior off the inside split, holding on to the lead. And John Levy, but it's Superior, Swick, Fitzgerald. And oh no, problems there for Swick. He's able to get up quick there, almost subs it again as Fitzgerald comes for him. Dan Fitzgerald riding for Jet World Pro Sports. Eric Swick out of San Diego, California. Superior, Tucson, Arizona. Riding for Go Fast, US, and of course Destination Hydration. Fitzgerald on the 118. Dan, a pro that's been around for quite a few years. Great to see him still out racing and running a power sports business. Of course, Jet World up in Silmar, California. So if you're up in that area near LA, great guy to go see. Get your stuff worked on, need some parts. Maybe give you a few pointers. Levy bringing up the charge behind him there on the 156 out of San Clemente, California. John, great guy. Ride a lot with him down at the Salty Crew in San Diego. Also one heck of a motocross racer. As he hits the back straightaway. Eight laps make up the distance here in the Ski Master Stock 1500. As they get ready to dwindle down, I do believe this next time by, our leader will see that white flag on the next lap. Eric Swick charging hard down that back, straight off that dog head leg left. It's going to take him into the right-hander at the end. I'm sorry, David Superior, our leader. Swick running in second. Because Superior's going to see that white flag. Rest of the riders getting that last lap in here. Seeing if they get better position. Fitzgerald goes by. There's Swick in second. There's our leader, the 508, David Superior. There's Fitzgerald on the 118. Then we're going to go ahead and see the 156 of John Levy go by. Back up to our leader. Couple more buoys and a checkered flag in his future. And there's the checkered flag for David Superior, the 508. Got to take the win here. Swick on the number 20 will come across in second, and Dan Fitzgerald on the 118 will come across in third. That'll be it here for Moto number 2.
I'm Craig Campbell from Lake Havasu City. I am here at Parker at the La Paz campground. We're enjoying the racing today. The hitch hauler is very easy to install. It takes just a few seconds. I spend a lot of time loading and unloading my stuff by myself, and it works out just great. I have a rolling rack that goes right up to it, and I don't have to ask anybody for help, so I get to keep all my friends like that. The hitch hauler is very versatile. Got a receiver on the back where I can hook up my regular jet ski trailer, and so now I can carry around 3 skis on my trailer, 1 on the hauler, and 1 or 2 in the back of my truck, but I guess I gotta buy another jet ski.
All right, here we go with race 21, the Vintage X2 stock on the number 7 out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. It's Jake Tobin. Out of Cypress on the number 54, it's Ryan Kennedy. Driving the 155 is Jason Trist out of Escondido, California, with the 313 of Dennis Patanga out of Lake Havasu, Arizona. The 420 coming to us from Marietta, California, it's Craig Campbell. And on the 572, Jeremy Patanga and a Lake Havasu City. And then we have the 36 of James Gagnon. Off and running they go with the bands now. And it looks like one of the riders getting a little lost there. And it looks like to be Jake Tobin on the number 7 with the whole shot and the outside splits. Let's see who's going to get it from the inside or the outside. And it looks like it's going to be Tobin on the outside split will get the whole shot. See when they come across here. We'll get some reads on some numbers here. I see Jeremy Patanga there, the 572. It's Jake Tobin on the Bayview Inspection Services Retro Racing out front. Again, this is the Vintage X2 stock. 650 motors. And then it looks like that's, I believe, Stenbach on the 630. Not showing on my list here, but I know that's the number he usually runs. Christopher Stenbach. Campbell goes by on the 420 machine. Or 42, actually, I should say. I'm listed as 420. But can't miss them. Maybe jamming on those reggae colors. 630, but that still not his number, but I wonder if that is James Gadnot. Kind of looks like his riding style. Back there, Craig Campbell there on the 42. Fortunately, sometimes the sheets and the boats don't match. Usually they'll tell registration, but not us here in the announcer's booth. See the 630 there, looks over his shoulder. These guys are working it here, man. It is rough on that back straightaway. I believe that's Jeremy Patanga right there, leader. The 572 out of Lake Havasu. Patanga Construction and Legacy Fitness. And we like 630. I think that's James Gagnon there. Trying to see. It kind of looks like him. Yes, it is. See the 36 in the back of us there. Greg Campbell comes by. So the 630 of Gagnon out front. So we see our leaders coming through here. They're going to get the white flag here shortly. Once again, vintage X2 stock out there on the track. 6 last make of the distance. White flag will be coming out this next time by for our leader. Campbell looks over. And there's the white flag for Tobin. Tobin, of course, on the number 7 machine. Rest if you'll get in the white flag. Jason Trist on the 155. And just waiting for Tobin on the number 7 to come by to get that checkered flag. It's coming off the outside split. And there it is. Tobin going to take the win here in motor number 2. And let's see who's going to get second and third here. Now they're going to have to figure this one out in timing and scoring here, because I do believe those riders were down a lap. So once again, Jake Tobin takes the win here in motor number 2 from vintage X2 stock.
One of the best cost-effective ways to get into jet skiing is to simply get a Kawasaki 550 or a 440. A great way to make it better and a little more rideable is stuff like our rear sponson, our front sponson, and a ride plate. You can even style it up with one of our handle poles or even the hood. This is just a great cost-effective way to enjoy jet skiing.
All right, here we go. It's time for the vintage 650, 750, new introduction to this class this year. On the 007 is Nick Verdone out of Lake Havasu. On the 11 is Sam Cap out of Lakewood, California. On the 17, Joey Haran out of Lake Havasu. The 44, Jake Hankins out of Phoenix, Arizona, with the 113 of James Hendry out of Lake Havasu. 158 of Arbella West out of Temecula. Paul Jean on 300 out of Menifee, Carlsbad, California. Ella Hobson on 358. 428 of Joe Ochoa out of Yucca, Arizona. And 510 of Juan Maldonado out of Blythe. And there's the band snap. And it looks like it's Paul Jean on the 300 on the Superjet on the old square nose. Great to see. I do believe it's an old friend of mine, Larry Caparella's, so it's great to see that. Nick Verdone on the 007. And it looks like is that Jake Hankins and thirds. See as they come across the 300. There's the 007. And couldn't get it on the Yamaha, so we'll see here. Looks like everybody getting the green flag on this one for sure. Great to see this introduction to this class, you know, bringing back some of the vintage classes. A lot of those skis sitting in people's garages. Some have been some great river runners. But these two square noses, great to see them out running again. And yes, it was the 44 of Jake Hankins on the blue Superjet. He's sitting in third. Couldn't see those little mailbox numbers on there. Even his postman would have a hard time finding that place. Nick Verdone, the 007, and the 44, Jake Hankins. And it looks like Sam Cap on the number 4 there. Right, an old Pro-Tech. Vintage square nose. Really great. The introduction of tubbies to those things really helped the handling characteristics of those. Superjet square nose boats. I think it allows them to rail a little bit better than being just the flat turner they were in the past. But Paul Jean, the 300, and Verdone on the 007, running 1 and 2. Jake Hankins on the 44, still holding on to third there. I think there was a lot brighter in there with Verdone. Looks like race 23 is coming up the line here next with the Sport GP boats. But Paul Jean on that 300 really turning and burning, making that square nose look good. Seen Paul down at Fiesta Island down in San Diego a few times riding that. Great to see it's passed on to another person that's going to use it and race it. It's great that the IJSBA has created this class to bring out those old 650s and 750 SXIs and SXI Pros. We're also seeing a nice handful of square noses. Seeing Brandon Warner and it looks like Hunter Dunn pulling up to the line there for the next race. Jake Hankins. That's 701. Hard to believe they consider that a vintage ski now. But with the new 4-stroke Superjet, the 1500 Kawasaki, it's made a lot of these older skis consider vintage now. Paul Jean, our leader, goes by one more time. A little communication going on between the tower and some of our marshals out there. Looking like everything's running good. There's Ella Hobson. Looks like James Hendry we got there. Arvella West. There's Sam Captain on the number 4. A white flag is out. See the guys on the beach wearing the bomber eyeglasses. Probably those polarized ones keeping that glare down. And they float. So there's the 428 of Joe Ochoa. He's got the Rising Sun Arizona there. Savardone on the 007 machine. As the rest of the field gets the white flag, Paul Jean going on to the back straight. They just had a ski boat go flying by there. Add a little bit more to the roughness of the water. But always a very stable boat, those square noses. I believe that's a 650 that Ochoa is riding there, an old Cowie 650. So very cool to see that out there racing. There's this Yamaha square nose. I believe they were produced up till 94, 95 area. And there's checkered flag for Paul Jean on the 300, takes the win. Joe is going to come across there in the 428. Ed Verdone. And we'll get them all figured out here, and that's the finish of motor number 2. All right, it's time for the Sport GP. Riding the 21 is going to be Brandon Warner out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. The number 9's Hunter Dunn out of Herman, Utah. And the 169 is going to be Ronnie Parker out of Reno, Nevada. So we're going to take a look here at the lineup here, and it looks like Ronnie Parker not making the caller for Moto 2. And there's the band snap. Warner will have the inside line done on the outside. Warner on a SEADOO, done on the Yamaha Wave Blaster. It'll be Warner with the whole shot. Warner riding for Impros, Watusi Designs, Works H2O, Spy Optics, Impros, and Ogio. Hunter Dunn now riding for Mom and Dad, Fly Racing. Jet Trim, Jet Pilot, Fly Racing, JC Racing, and High Speed Industries. Warner would pull away from Dunn. Dunn holding on here to second place. That HX hooking up on the back straightaway. Both fun boats. HX, great race boat right out of the box there. The few modification, that Yamaha Wave Blaster, you can see that Hunter's got a lot of that on there. That's why it runs so well. One of the funnest boats I've ridden in the surf before, the Yamaha Wave Blaster. HX, really nice through the rough chop there. Both have their attributes. As Warner continues to lead, and as the laps dwindle down, the white flag would come out for Warner. Like he's got his own private track there. There's Hunter Dunn. He'll be seeing the white flag now. I do believe as we see him come here, we should see Warner heading onto the back straightaway, and we do, as he gets ready to shoot out down. Couple turns more and a checkered flag is in his future. And there it is, the win for Brandon Warner. And Hunter Dunn will follow with second place. In a town known as Surf City. But when we come to town, it becomes Moto Surf City, where the horsepower meets the surf. This is the Hot Products Huntington Beach Moto Surf and Impros Freeride, featuring a multitude of categories, including Pro GP, Pro Freeride, Pro-Am Runabout GP, including amateurs, vintage classes, and the junior racers. Come on down and witness from the pier some of the hottest racing action on the water. Sanctioned by the IJSBA. Are you ready for this epic power sports annual event, Moto Surf and Freeride? Including a live stream broadcast, all the great action where closed course racers and freeriders unite. Don't miss out. Come on down and join the action. Register today at RPM Racing Enterprises. That's www.rpmracingent.com. Get involved. All right, it's time for the Ski Women's GP class on the number 23 out of Riverside, California. We got River Varner out of Huntington Beach. California on the 24, Shani Seidenberg. And coming to us from Scottsdale, Arizona on the 141, it's Reyes Geis. Pistone looks down the line here, 2-card in the air. One hand sideways, off and running. Robbie's quick on the band snap here today. It's going to be the 141 there, Reyes Geis, who jumps in with the hole shot. Geis goes to the inside, looks like Varner to the outside. It's going to be Geis with the hole shot, River Varner. And it looks like Shani Seidenberg on the 24. All riding Commander skis. Reyes Geis riding for Scottsdale Cycle Center. Dad, Troy Lee Designs, Ultimate Watercraft Performance, Jet Pilot, Jet Trim, Impros, ODI, VP Race Fuels, Riva, TC Freeride, IPD Graphics, and 100%, and GoPro. River Varner on the number 23. She's riding for Varner Construction. Go Fast, US, British Rhino USA, Ride Air 100%. Strike Force Energy, K River Investments, and Jet Pilot. And then you got Shani Seidenberg, who rides for Jet Tribe, Jet Trim, IPD Graphics, River Rat Motorsports, and Fly Racing. So Geis, the whole shot out front. River Varner in that second slot was Shani Seidenberg in third. River looking pretty smooth there. She's been riding with Rafael Marin quite a bit out in Havasu, and you can tell it has paid off. Little osmosis going on there. So I would say the people you hang around with makes you better. And you can tell River's done very well, but man, I'll tell you, Reyes Geis, that young lady is very quick on the 141. Oh no, River Varner goes down for a second, but nice recovery. And right back on the gas and grabs a handful. 6 laps make up the distance. Reyes Geis out front, River Varner in second. Shani Seidenberg in third. Looks like Shani having some difficulties there, a little bit slower there. Getting used to that new ski. There's Reyes Geis. The young lady out of Scottsdale, Arizona. All part of the Scottsdale Cycle Center family. River charging hard, trying to catch up to her. I'm sure these young ladies have ridden a lot together at Body Beach. Geis continues to lead here as they hit the back straightaway. Shani Seidenberg coming onto the front straight. Oh, a little bit of bobble there. And we get back up. Uh-oh. Having some problems there. Here comes River Varner. We've got a race, folks. Varner's trying to catch up to Geis now. I don't know. Geis had quite a few races. Wonder if she's getting a little tired. I know she's been training hard. But it's been a little rough on that back section there. Commander skis hooking up great. Here we go. It's a drag race down the back straightaway. Oh, Geis goes down the train. Varner goes to the lead. River Varner, our new leader on the 23 in the Varner Construction Go Fast USA and Rhino USA machine. White flag comes out here for Varner, Geis, and Sundberg will be seeing that. So Varner's just got to keep it up right here, stay in the tray. Hold on to that throttle control. Just looks over, sees where Reyes is at. He's on the hammer, looking smooth. That thing is hooked up. It is glued to the water. Oh, goes a little wide there. But here comes the checkered flag. So River Varner will take the win here in Moto number 2. After Reyes Geis led the entire race there. Fortunate a couple bobbles there, some problems. Geis, though, able to hold on, gets second place. And Shani Seidenberg, a.k.a. Blondie, will wrap out third here in Moto 2 and the podium. Well, it's going to wrap it up here for round number 1 of the HydroTurf Best of the West Series presented by Hot Products. This has been the Nedra Atwood Memorial Race. Say a big shout out to R&R Productions, Throttle Junkie News, Ski Hitch Hauler, and Dirt Sports World. We'll see you for round number 2 next time on the water.